All right, so we understand symmetry. We understand how to solve quadratic equations. We can actually use those skills combined to graph without having to just punch it into our calculator and look at a picture and get our table from the graph. We can actually graph these things just using what we understand. So let's look at a couple of examples. In the first part of this video, we're just going to look at regular graphing. So I think what we want to do is we know how to solve a quadratic equation. Well, it turns out that when you solve a quadratic equation, what you're actually getting is you're actually getting the roots. You're actually getting the spots where the graph crosses the x-axis. So that's exactly where we're going to start here. We're going to start with the x-intercepts. And as we've discussed, intercepts. And as we've discussed, these are otherwise known as the roots. So x-intercepts are where we cross the x-axis. Here's the x-axis. And where we cross the x-axis, the y value is 0. The output is 0. So that means when I'm looking for my x-intercepts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace f of x with 0. And I get x squared minus 8x plus 7. And this should look familiar. Now we're going to factor this. So when I factor this, I get x minus 7. And I get x minus 1. Set both of these equal to solve. This should be very familiar. And so in this case, I get x equals 7, and in this case, I get x equals 1. And when I turn those into points, it's 7, 0, and 1, 0, and then I can actually put those on the graph. So here's 1, 0, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here's 7, 0. Okay, so the next thing is to find your axis of symmetry. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either use the formula that we discussed in the last lesson, which is negative b over 2a, or since we know that the parabolas are symmetrical, we know that the axis of symmetry is going to be halfway between these 2 points. So this is at 1 and this is at 7, so halfway would be right here at 4. So I can put my axis of symmetry right here at x equals 4. That's going to be my axis of symmetry. And then I can write that down because I'm going to need that information. X equals 4. Now, like I said, if you can't figure out where it goes halfway between, you can always use the negative b over 2a, which we learned in the last lesson. Okay, what else can we get? We can get the vertex. Now, you learned in the last lesson how to find the vertex algebraically. You take your axis of symmetry and you plug it in. So let's get our vertex too. We can put that point on the graph. So my axis of symmetry is 4, so that's what I'm going to plug in for x. And I said no calculator, but here's where I'll allow it. I would go ahead and put this whole thing in your calculator. So I'm going to get 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 7, and that's going to be negative 9. So that means my vertex has an x value of 4 and a y value of negative 9. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my vertex. Okay, well, I'm starting to see the shape of the parabola here. Well, what else can I get? I can get the y-intercept from this. The y-intercept is very easy to figure out. The y-intercept is where we cross the y-axis, which means our x value is 0. So when you're looking for your y-intercept, any term that has an x in it is just going to become 0 because x is 0. So that means my y-intercept is 7. So now I can write that down. My y-intercept is 0, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then because of symmetry, I know that there's a point opposite that one. So mirror image on the other side, there's going to be another point. And now I've got quite a few points here, so I think we can actually graph our function. We know it's a parabola, so it should be a nice smooth curve. And I'm just going to draw this as best I can. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Arrows on the end, done. So I graphed the whole thing without even using the calculator, except for doing this arithmetic right here. All right, let's try another one. I purposely picked this one because I want you to notice this one has a negative in front of x squared. So we're going to have to deal with that situation. Let's start the same way. Let's start with our x-intercepts. And before we do that, actually, I'm going to write it down, but we're going to do one thing first. Oh gosh, my spelling is so bad today. Let's factor out any greatest common factor that happens to be here. And so if there's a number in front of x squared, you should factor it out. And then if there's a negative in front of x squared, you should factor that out too. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do negative x squared plus x minus 6. I basically factored out negative 1 as a greatest common factor. And the reason why I did that is because I know how to factor this. I'm not really that good at factoring when there's a negative in front of x squared. Okay, so let's find our x-intercepts first, our roots. So it's negative and then x squared plus x minus 6. The negative stays out front. And now I'm going to have plus 3 and minus 2. Now watch what happens here. I have to take into account this negative. So remember, that's negative 1. So I've got actually 3 factors here. 0 equals negative 1. X plus 3 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. Well, we already know that 0 does not equal negative 1. So we're just going to cross that one out. And then I solve this one, I get x equals negative 3. I solve this one, I get x equals 2, which means my x-intercepts are negative 3, 0, and 2, 0. So let me put those on here. Okay, let's do my axis of symmetry next. This time, my axis of symmetry is, as always, halfway between, but this time it's not going to be on a whole number. It's actually going to be on 0.5. So my axis of symmetry in this case is actually negative 0.5, which is right here. This is halfway between those two. So my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 0.5. Make that a little bit nicer. Negative 0.5. Okay, let's find vertex. How do we find our vertex? We plug in our axis of symmetry into the original. So this is going to be f of negative 0.5 equals negative 0.5 squared minus negative 0.5 plus 6. Sorry that kind of went into the graph there, but that's okay. When you type this in, make sure you include all these parentheses and stuff. Otherwise, you're not going to get things correct. So I've got negative 0.5 squared minus negative 0.5. I'm typing it exactly as I've got written. And I have 6.25. So my vertex is negative 0.5, comma, 6.25. All right. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.25, right about here. Okay, and what's my y-intercept here? My y-intercept is, again, you go back to the original, and you put anything that has an x, as an x is going to go to 0. So what am I left with? I'm left with 6. So I've got a y-intercept here. And then remember, by symmetry, I've got a point on the other side of the axis of symmetry. And now I have enough. Okay, it's going to look kind of like this. Okay, so that's how we can graph not really using the calculator. In part 2 of this, we'll apply this to a word problem, but that's how we go ahead and graph.